whereby, as has been laid clearly by Sala, Mheshimiwa, that we are visited every week 3 or 4 times. For the last 4 months, bandits have been roaming in Laikipia, terrorizing people in Laikipia North. During daytime, they come scouting fearlessly. They will come and scout from the homes that they will come and steal in the evening. They can be seen during the day in the conservancies, in the valleys within Garidare. And what really surprises us is the heavy presence deployed police officers and stock theft unit. They are allowed, but these bandits are still roaming freely. They can come and steal. Madam Speaker, what worries the residents of those areas is that even they can come all the way, they jump some few homes where there are animals and come just 20 meters to Astu, that is stock theft unit, and steal from there, and no police officer would even shoot in the air or even come out of the camp. They have gone ahead to even isolate areas whereby they go to the chief's camp at Evi, chief's home at Evi. They will steal animals, and chief lives about 50 meters away from the police post. Our question is, as leaders of Laikipia, and what we need to know, if our people are not safe, how are we expected to react? Police officers are out, they are not acting. Are they submitting? Are they overwhelmed? Or are they collaborating with the thieves? So far, animals have been taken. None of those bandits, the perpetrators, are still free. None of them have been apprehended. Animal recovery is almost at 1% recovery. Everyone knows where they are taken, that they are taken through the ranches, and our question is whether some of the ranchers, and especially Ornaisho farm, whether they are also collaborating with the bandits. That area is expansive, and it takes time for them to move from the villages to the forest. How comes that they can be able to steal, drive the animals comfortably to Mogodo forest, which they have made their safe haven? Madam Speaker, these officers and the bandits, are they submitting that now it is bring it on? And if they cannot reverse them, and we don't have enough police resurfaced, how are we expected to react? Madam Speaker, information is very clear. Security forces knows where the animals are taken, and one wonders if security forces knows where the animals are. The people where animals are taken from, everybody knows where the animals have been taken. Why can't this government, our question, take action similar to that was taken during the raids at Mount Elgon, whereby all the agencies were brought together, and if it calls for us to amend the law, whereby now the army must come in, because we cannot have Kenyans being terrorized across the country, North Rift, Central Rift, everywhere, that today we are only hearing that the government is up in arms, that they are countering them. We have not seen any incidents, serious incidents that can teach them a lesson. We are demanding an operation similar to the one that was carried out in Boni Forest, be carried in Mogodo Forest, be carried in Skutafari, and all other areas where government knows that cattle-driven, animals-driven from even other constituencies are taken, so that serious action is taken, that these people should never repeat again. The perpetrators and the collaborators must be punished in equal measures. If the government is not going to do that, we are wasting our time. They must seal in Mukogondo, Mount Elgon operation, Boni Forest operation, combined forces must come there, and government must show its force. Otherwise, the parties are there, they can see government can back, but it cannot bite. We agree, CS Kidiki is doing a lot of work, but it's so more of a paper now. If you ask them, you'll be a paper tiger, end of the day, if he cannot bite. Madam Speaker, we strongly condemn these criminals, this act of cowardice, and we must make sure the perpetrators are brought to book. If there is no serious action by government to the perpetrators and the collaborators, they know them by name. Like when they killed Kadisho on Friday, they left 2 phones behind them. With that only, they are able to say who these bandits were, who are their collaborators, and because it's an enterprise, Madam Speaker, it's not only about cattle lastry, it's an enterprise. It is for the first time we must deal with those people who are arming the bandits, who are involved in this business, because at the end of the day, these animals end up somewhere. Some are stolen for restocking, as Kamtet would call it, but some are also stolen, and there are some rich people somewhere advancing this business who must now be called by their names, who must be brought to book. And what you want this time around is that a tougher, bigger action. I always like the KWS operates. If they discover that police are doing nothing, they have the only way of eliminating these people. And the only way is that even those who are being sent to steal, those people with a behavior of always restocking, this must come to an end. Madam Speaker, if you look at who is involved in this business, already we know where our problems are coming from. Go to Kibish, Kipsin. Look at the farmers around, they are armed. Where animals are being taken away, all the farmers around, they have more than 40, 50 police reservists. They have security armed by the same government. Madam Speaker, it is the high time this government sits down and reconsider its decision on whether they will continue arming those farmers, and especially those ones who cannot stop this kind of an attack to the people of Laikipia. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, for us, we agree the government is taking action. We are agreeing that forces are being employed. However, how do we now gain confidence of government if the same officers who are being employed with command cannot take action? Those answers must be given to us. And the only way we can agree and accept the government is taking action is recovering our animals. Is to see people brought to justice, to see people being punished. Those who make other people cry must also cry. They should not steal our animals at their own leisure and have the pleasure to go and enjoy the route. With those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I beg to support and seriously ask this House to consider, even if we are going now to amend the laws that are necessary to ensure that there is combined forces, that action can be taken with no boundary. The army should come in, police should come in, other security forces must come in. I support.
Thank you. Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Let me join my 2 colleagues, the Honorable Sarah Korere and the Honorable Mwangi Kiunjuri, in expressing my disgust